This Sports Blitz podcast is brought to you by LMG. Grow your business through logo design, paper products, and video production. Visit leemarketing.net to learn more.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live. Luke Robinson with you now. We've got Scott Myers, who's the Executive Director of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Scott, how are you doing tonight?
Luke, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks so much for being with us. You guys had a monster week last week. What a class to be inducted in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, I tell you, we really did. It was a great weekend and a fantastic class. And it seems like our state every year continues to produce just quite a. Every year we think we are not going to get a better class than the year before, and they always keep meeting the challenge.
What was the most memorable moment from all the speeches you heard this past week?
Well, that's quite difficult. I think these set of speeches, I would stack them up against any of the speeches cumulatively from all the other classes that I've been a part of. This was my fifth year and my fifth class that I've been a part of inducting, and I went to a few other events on other occasions. So they all did, again, an exceptional job. But I will say that the moment, and Ronnie Baines, who was an official for the SEC and the NFL and supervisor officials for the NFL for a number of years. He was born to deaf parents. Both of his parents were deaf, and he, of course, so he had to learn at some age to sign to effectively communicate, and then he ended up coaching in later years at the Talladega School of the Deaf. But at one point in his speech, he stopped just speaking and started both signing and speaking. And that was just a, very significant moment, I think, and one that stands out in my mind.
Wow, that is interesting. And there's so many great figures here from the state of Alabama. But this class, my goodness gracious, Nick Saban and Bill Oliver and Baines, as you mentioned, Vicky Orr, who was a superstar at Auburn. The list goes on in this class, and I think you could probably stack it up against any of them.
Well, you really could. One of the unique things about this class, obviously, Coach Saban being inducted in the prime of his career is quite significant. You don't see that every year. In fact, in my time there, this is the first case where the inductee is still in his profession and still competing at the level that he had made his success at. And, of course, there's not too many coaches in the history of college football that have had the success Coach Saban has had. So that made it quite a unique class by itself, but there were several other things that this class was noteworthy. There were two other coaches, as you mentioned, from the state, one from UNA, and then, of course, Coach Oliver, who had played at Alabama, coached at Alabama, and also coached at Auburn. And, of course, UNA was represented, and then Alabama A&M was represented by Danette Young-Stone, who was a gold and silver medalist in the Olympics. And so that was unique. And then, of course, Jacksonville State had Eric Davis represented, who was a football player there and then ended up playing for the 49ers and winning a Super Bowl there. So you had not only the big schools, the University of Alabama and Auburn University represented with, as you mentioned, Vicky Orr and Ronnie Baines, and then Forrest Blue. But you had some of the smaller institutions in our state that were represented this year, which made it quite interesting for everyone.
Is the goal every year to try and get a representative from each school, or is that even in play?
No, it's not in play at all. What our board decides and tries to do is to put the best nominees on the ballot to have the best opportunity to be inducted. Now, the categories are broken down into football is one category, baseball, basketball is another category, and then individual sports is a third. So in those categories, they want the best nominees possible. And it doesn't matter what school they went to, or that doesn't come into play at all.
Do you have a list already of possible inductees or candidates for next year?
Well, we don't have a list set for what next year's ballot will look like. We have a number of people that were nominated this year. Process is is quite simple. Anybody that's a resident of the state of Alabama has the right to nominate someone for induction. And every year we'll receive nominees. And once someone has been nominated, they were always nominated. In other words, you don't have to renominate them, or they're always. We have a growing list of over 300 nominees waiting to either be placed on the ballot or be voted into the for induction. So it's a process that really starts beginning in July and August. The ballot starts being put together by the board of directors and myself, and then the ballot goes out to the selection committee and later.
Scott, I know the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame is a great place to visit. Why don't you tell everybody maybe a little bit about operating hours or how they could get to see the Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, we're currently open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We're located downtown. There's a nice new park there and some new restaurants and new opportunities. Or restaurant more coming, but it's a great little outing for a family or a group of friends to come and visit and see the sports history of our state. Then also you could check out more information about the thing by going online at Alabama Sports Hall of Fame letter from each of those .org, ASA.org, and get more information.
Well, Scott, thanks so much for joining us tonight, bud. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We'll have you on again sometime, okay?
Hey, likewise. And if the Hall of Fame could be of any assistance to you, your program, what you guys are doing for your viewers and listeners is fantastic.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, take care.
Take it easy, Scott.